Yo, I just recorded whatever video that was about like Ron being adversarial and defensive when I asked him about the pictures of comparing me and Alessandra and Ambrosio's kids, Andre and Noah Ambrosio. And I just wanted to add, like, I guess Ron could secretly be gay, and the whole thing with Hannah is like, him trying to hide it, and that this could be a thing where for a long time, uh, there have been gay men trying to like hide in plain sight and have kids, and they've like tried to use some kind of evil fucking snaky method of controlling Western kind of like thought processes, like how Hollywood does, and that's falling apart based on what's going on with Islam kind of attacking into the West, and they're under threat because Muslims will kill them for their lifestyle. And like, I'm not threatening to kill anybody, right? But I am saying that I think it's really toxic and wrong that you would lie, first of all, and that I think it's giving people cancer that you're doing this, and that Yahweh is not happy about it, and he's going to defend people trying to give me cancer by giving, people associated with it cancer and other terminal illnesses, and sending them to their final destination, like that movie Final Destination, if that makes sense. But um, anyway, so what I'm just trying to say here is, I guess Ron could be gay, and that's why he's so defensive. And like, you don't see me like, I've never come out being angry at anybody for being gay. Even like my whole thing with Noah Ambrosio or any of my kids, if they were gay, it's like I love you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're my kid, I love you. That being said, you can't take something away from me and try to like beat me over the head and hurt my parents, because I think it hurts my parents. Like, literally, I think we're intrinsically connected, and when you're hurting me, it's hurting them. So to like Ron, if Ron is hurting me by lying about this situation, it's hurting them, including my dad, who Ron supposedly loves. But like, if you're doing this, you're hurting him. If you're lying like this, you are hurting my dad because it's crippling me, and my dad is exhibiting the same issue on like a mirrored, as if he and I are metaphysically connected. So and my mom is also, she also has the same issue on her thigh, or she says she does. They both do, but I can see them both kind of hobbling around, and like, they seem pretty consistent in it. So I do think they are going through something. But my whole point with this is like, I'm not judging you guys. While I don't think Yahweh wants that for people, I also don't think Yahweh wants like the marriage and the way that we do it now. It explicitly says at the end of the Bible, like, there will never be heard in Babylon the marriage, like bride and groom or marriage, whatever. Because I think a lot of the relationships and what, like, I think a lot of these celebrity women are in relationships with gay men, and they're having children with gay men who are either, maybe they're abusing the kids or they're abusing the kids. But the whole point is to create a fake reality and be able to drive the narrative of that reality with, these, to be able to drive the narrative and the zeitgeist of that reality, zeitgeist, using like, the idea of like subversive behavior. They're gay, but they're pretending to be straight. They're having kids and families, and then they're teaching those families different values, but then claiming to be Christian or something like that. That is not just something that I think makes Yahweh angry, that you're, a lot of it has to do with the line, but I think it, and what it opens up around like actual Christian families. But I think you're making people sick physically. Like, I think it's, when you create a reality and then behind the scenes that's not the thing. It, like, our reality is structured around the way we do society, and that's creating a society that's like internally collapsing in on itself. And now that it's being challenged by Islamic society, uh, it's like it will not stand. You know what I'm saying? Because just because of the way, like, well, the right here in America is Christian, the right in Muslim countries is Muslim, right? Or in that form of, in that part of the world is Muslim. And I'm going to suggest the right in like Great Britain these days is even turning into Muslims. Like, it's just like, it is literally a war of religion. And Muslims do terrible things to people. They literally are known for like skinning people alive. And you can, whatever you say about Christians, those are things they didn't do at the behest of Jesus. And they were not, like, what I would suggest is Jesus would say that's not biblical, and you aren't Christians if you're killing people or like burning people at the stake and stuff like that. However, when it explicitly says to do that in the Quran, it inherently is Islamic, right? In Christianity, the golden rule, the thing that you're most supposed to hold to, well, is first of all love, and second of all, or maybe even this is what that love looks like, treating your neighbor as you want to be treated, treating, your brother, your other man, treating people like you want to be treated. That is not an Islamic concept. An Islamic concept is force the disbelievers, non-believers, and people of the book to submit to knockoff version of Yahweh, which we call Allah, which is a feminine singular title, like I brought up. But anyway, my whole point with this is like, I guess the thing could be is that Ron is gay and he's trying to hide it. And in that case, like, I don't love you less because you're gay, but it's pissing me off that you're lying and it's hurting me, my dad, my mom, and giving people cancer and causing like upheaval in the world. If you know that something wrong has happened to me and you aren't doing something, Yahweh is not happy about it, and like you bring the consequences on your own head for what Yahweh might do to you or will do to you. I mean, like what Jesus is going to do to you. And you claim to believe in Jesus, but you aren't holding to his scripture, and I'm telling you, and damn it, like for sure, the spirit of Yahweh acting on this, the Holy Spirit, when you're saying something other than what that's saying, that is blasphemy against the Spirit. I don't see you doing any kind of lightning shit. I don't see you even making sense of the Bible. Like, you don't even agree that Yahweh is the name of God. You think it's not important when I explicitly can show you I can show you hundreds. I'm not even going to exaggerate this. I can show you hundreds of verses to show you that you are explicitly wrong, and not just wrong, adversarial to that name by trying to cover it up and say that's not important to him. So, like, I'm over all this bullshit, and I'm just trying to get these points out here. And like, again, Yahweh does the change here, but I'm, like, if I'm coming in the capacity of someone with that spirit in me and I'm telling you what it is, I would listen, because Yahweh is not going to stand for much longer. People are about to, like, we're at the point where, like, I think we're about to see the whole beast empire thing rise up. In the least, we're about to hit the 7 years of tribulation, or the not 7 years of tribulation. You have 3.5 years of peace and prosperity, is what people say, and then 3.5 years of tribulation. I don't know if that the 3.5 years preceding the tribulation is true, because you have to exegete verses in a specific way to pull that up. But I can guarantee you, we are coming up on the 3.5 years from the Book of Revelation. So it's like, and in that period, like that is when the shit hits the fan. So, all right, just wanted to say that. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. I'll also say this: when I'm talking about Noah Ambrosio and my children being gay, I mean, I think part of the whole thing is I don't know if they're gay, but I do think some of it is that they explicitly keeping me away from them, and then having men who I'm pretty sure are gay men raise them, and like, to try to implant ideas that are not Christian, and then to like pretend you're Christian, and then like live a whole fake lifestyle and stuff like that when you're actually doing like witchy stuff with crystals and shit behind the scenes. I just saw a thing where it's like, you're not spiritual, you just smoke weed, collect rocks, and hear voices in your head. I mean, and that seems exactly like most of the people that spout this new age astrology, whatever bullshit, and like, that just seems a lot like Alessandro Ambrosio. So you can wear crosses. I see people wear crosses all the time. I know aren't Christians, so, or I know they don't actually hold to what Jesus teaches and says. You never see me wearing a cross, so I mean, like, I don't think that tells you whether someone is Christian or not. You never see someone. You never see me wearing a cross. I can read, like, I can tell you exactly point for point what happens in Revelation. I've never been good at memorizing things word for word, but I can tell you like how Revelation plays out and what chapter, what thing happens in what chapter and whatever. Most people can't tell you that. I read the Bible enough to where I'm pretty well versed in it. Like, again, I don't even have a good memory for these types of things, but I read it so much that I have to. You know what I mean? That it has impressed itself that much on me. So when Ron is saying this bullshit, I'm gonna be honest. Fuck off. Either fuck off or like get right in your head, because you are wrong now. and you're going against what Yahweh is saying, and Yahweh's not happy about that. And like again, my whole point is it clearly says at the 6th and 7th church, I'm going to write my name on you and I'm going to put you on the throne. And by those points, you already have the iron rod and the morning star and all the things that make you literally the guy from Revelation 19. And that's only one person. And I'm going to suggest that if what I'm saying is true about Alessandra Ambrosia, that she's Jezebel, or there's some Jezebel woman in my reality, and I'm being attacked by some group of Nicolaitans, everything else is true, and I am the one that's conquering at the 7 churches of Asia, and you damn sure better listen to me. I don't care if you're my older cousin. I'm the one speaking with the authority here. You're speaking like an asshole who doesn't even understand the Bible, and you're trying to tell me what the Bible says. And again, I don't give a fuck what Kanye West says. Kanye West is a piece of shit. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, he's a Nazi. And him saying I'm not a Nazi, clearly a fucking Nazi. You know what I mean? So, like, am I a Nazi? No. I can see. I am not Nazi. You get what I'm saying? I can. And they're like, you know, that's, again, a word pun or a pun, whatever. But, like, no, I'm not a Nazi. And but I also don't think white people should feel bad for being white. And like, you know, not all white people participate in slavery. What if Ron? You think Hannah should feel bad for being white? No. Okay, exactly. Like, I don't think the white part of my family, like my cousins, maybe they should feel bad if they're participating in whatever this is, but not for being white. You know what I mean? I don't think black people should feel bad for being black. And I'm tired of like this clash of like both sides that I'm seeing. It's like I don't give a fuck what either of you say. I think white people can't be ashamed for being white. That's going to create problems if you want a civilization and a society that works right. On the same side, that you can't have a bunch of racist white people like lording white supremacy over people. At the same time, you can't have a bunch of fake black Hebrew Israelites claiming that white people need to lick their boots and you know, whatever that Julian Malema guy in South Africa who wants to genocide white people. Those are two sides of a fucking broken false extreme. And like, you know, I feel like since I was a kid, I've had this war inside me where it's like the black guy and the white guy inside me are like, y'all are both wrong. Like, you know, that's what the mixed me is saying. Like, it's not white supremacy, it's not black supremacy, it's Jesus. And Jesus is supreme, and that's who brings all the tribes of the world together. And it doesn't matter if Jesus was white or black. He's Jewish, first of all. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter in Japan and in Korea, when they draw Jesus, he's Korean or he's Japanese. Great. Everybody should see themselves in Jesus. That's the point. What was Jesus? A Jewish guy in fucking 0 AD. You know what I mean? What does he look like? It doesn't matter. I'm telling you this. It doesn't matter. In fact, it's good that all the people of the world see themselves in Jesus. But, you know, fighting over whether he's white or black, or like black Jesus, or mocking Jesus, whatever, none of that's going to help. And it certainly isn't going to help y'all's ass when Islam starts cutting people's heads off. So, okay. And it already has been. It's been doing it for thousands of years. It's the false prophet, beast from the earth system. So, okay. All right. According to them, their own text says that they're the ones that raised the beast from the earth, and that's the false prophet from the book of Revelation. Guess what? It clearly says in the Quran to verify in the text that they have, right? This is the Islamic dilemma. If you're going to verify the Quran from the text that the people of the book already have, that means they already had to have it at the time of the Quran, which, by the way, manuscript evidence shows there's older versions of the Bible than the Quran that we have, older manuscripts, and it's not changed since then. So, you know what I'm saying? This whole, the Bible is corrupt thing is some bullshit, and it's not mistranslated. I've shown you that there's a bunch of translations, but you can go straight to the Greek. You can either do it consensus-based, or you can do it just like, you know, figure it out for your fucking self, but it's not like it's mistranslated and you're missing some kind of point. Believe in Jesus, believe with your heart or confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that Yahweh or God raised him from the dead, and you will be saved. That's what Paul said. I'm pretty sure. Paraphrasing, but, you know, that's all you really need. And then once that is, treat people like Jesus wanted you to treat them. But, like, all this lying bullshit that people are doing, it's not good. I'm not lying about things. I can be wrong about things, but I'm not lying about things. Okay? At least not explicitly. Again, if I'm saying something and I'm wrong about it, is that a lie? I mean, I think I'm right about it, actually. So I guess it matters my intentionality. But like with Alessandro Ambrosio's kids, I think those are my biological kids. Is there a chance that I'm wrong? Yeah, I guess so. Why don't we do a DNA test? You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been saying. Did I accidentally say GNA? Yeah, okay. Why don't we do a DNA test and like But I'm not going to listen to this whole thing from my family who might have participated in whatever this evil bullshit is, saying like they don't look like me. One of the explicit other things is all my family members have different ideas of how they don't look like me, and some of those things don't match. One of them says, "Oh well, there this Noah's Anja's nose looks like yours, but Noah's this doesn't." And then someone else says Anja's nose doesn't look like yours, but Noah's this does look like yours. And it's like, well, you guys are just directly conflicting with what you've just said. Like, I can point out, however, hey, when I look at this feature, here's where he would have to get this feature from his father, and I don't see that on Jamie Mazur. So, how about this? His dark brown eyes. So, anyway, does that mean Jamie Mazur? It could be Jamie Mazur's not the father, and there's another man. I totally believe that. Alessandra Ambrosio seems like an evil piece of shit. I can totally believe she would do some evil shit like that. But I'm just trying to make the point that based on if you're just going with what the story on its face value says that these are his kids, you can't explain that genetically, at least not well, not in my opinion. Now, is that what it means? But it just seems. One moment. Yeah, give me a minute, okay? And I will come in and do it immediately. What? I know. I thought it would be. I think the icing's probably really good in it. I had to put my foot down. No, just let him have it, and I'll get another. And then that's not the problem. The problem is going to. Okay. Yeah. Diabetes. Is the pasta still downstairs? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go have some of the pasta here. So let me just finish this up, and I'll come and do your lights. Okay. All right. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna deal with whatever this is. My mom needs help putting up these lights that I ordered, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I just this is what I do when when she comes to the door because it's always a thing. That was very pleasant. See, sometimes these are pleasant. That's my point. It's like it's not always that we're not always conflicting, and I'm absolutely happy to help my mom and be and honor her and whatever. But I think it's like I need to fix whatever the fuck has gone on with me. And if I have kids, she has grandkids. It's not honoring me. It's dishonoring them, but it's like dishonoring me through my own kids that this is happening. And so that needs to be rooted out as well because I think again, like I'm saying, I think it's hurting me and it's hurting my parents because of the whatever the metaphysical reality that's described in Genesis 32 and Proverbs 12:4 and elsewhere. But okay, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time later. Yeah. And for you and for this view of the camera, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. See you later. Yeah.